Welcome back, everybody. We're going to start painting up some more Song of Ice and Fire stuff. We were working on this a little bit last night, but we're going to kind of continue to finish these up. Most of them are pretty good to start washing. Sorry, I had one of my friends asking me about Tabletop Simulator for Song of Ice and Fire, which is pretty good if you haven't had a chance to mess around with it. So, yeah, I'm just going to work on the Mountains Men. They're part of the Lannisters. Something I might also work on while I finish those up is I also have these Frogletites for God tier that I'm painting up, so we might be working on those as well. But we need to get our tan on with some of this contrast snakebite leather. And I've been trying to crank through these guys because it's kind of been a grind to paint them, just because there's so much detail with all the armor and weapons and their banner and their tabards, sorry. So it's been a little bit of a struggle to finish this unit up. Usually it doesn't take me 3 paint sessions to finish up one unit. So it's been a little tedious for me. So I'm going to put some brown on some areas where these guys need it. And then once we got that, we are going to wash them. Like I said, most of these, there's really not too much more left to do. I'm just kind of cleaning them up before I put the wash on. I think Wednesday we should be getting a new attachment for my camera. So that means we should be starting next week. We should start getting better angles on painting. That way you guys can kind of see what I'm looking at and better some of these angles that you can't really see with the way the camera currently is. And that's once again a big thanks to our patrons for supporting us to help us up our stream game a little bit. Alright, I think you're good. Okay, you actually need some metal on you. So once we're done with the snake bite, I'll go back and paint this guy's arm up. Because he's, if you look here, he just got a bunch of white still on his arm. So we're going to fix that. Let's actually keep you out, that way I know to fix you up. Fix him right up. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh crap, I need to fix his sword. There's a couple things that when I go back over at this point, there's always some stuff you miss. So that's just kind of what you look for when you're going through this. Like this guy in the hilt of his sword needs to be just touched up. And I did another paint party last night. That was pretty fun. If you haven't had a chance, we on the Rage Quit Wire YouTube channel, I'm trying to do it where me and some buddies hang out and we talk some things about how we paint and some of the cool strategies we use and what we like about gaming, and a lot of fun. A lot of cool stuff we talked about last night. Talked about competitive play and some other stuff. Tournaments, organizing events, models, factions we like, different games we like. Make sure y'all call your moms. It's something that people tend to forget about every now and then, and just make sure you knock that one off your list. Alright, let's get the silver, and then I actually think we're ready to wash these models. And while I'm letting those dry, I'll work on these froglodytes some, but that might be it for this paint video, just because I think keep this one short since it's Mother's Day. We are going to start working on some 40K stuff. Ooh, I do need to go back and hit that, I think, but we got some 40K stuff from the final round that we're going to paint up. So I'm going to try to assemble them. Maybe while I'm watching a movie or something tonight, I'll try to assemble them. Who's this Mike Klein bugging me? Mr. Coach Klein. People just like, hey, let's play some Tabletop Simulator. And I'm like, sweet. Cannot wait till I do not have to play these online versions of my games. Because, I mean, they're okay. It's just not as fun, in my opinion. I like the face-to-face interactions. Alright, so let's do this wash. We need the black wash, which I'm actually probably going to need to go get some, because I'm running low. Right. Alright. So, I think washing these models is really important, because these types of models where you have such heavy plate and armor, you really need to make sure that it gets some kind of tone to it. And if you're not good with metals yet, this is the best way to paint metals, where you just put a wash on them and let the wash really do the work on these metals for you, because otherwise it just looks kind of boring when you paint metal if you don't have any kind of depth to it. And the washes do a really superb job of that. You guys are probably seeing from this. We'll do kind of a quick before and after when this guy is done here. It's actually good for these mountains men, because they want to be kind of like dirty looking models anyways. They're not what you would call a clean knightly unit. This guy's hand's got some gap, that's really bad. Don't know what I'm going to do about that. He might be just one of those guys that has to be in the back of the unit, just because there's a huge gap. Okay. Alright. I think we got him mostly covered there. So just like a quick difference between a wash. Look at this guy who is not washed yet, and this guy who just received it. You can see the detail that just pops out just from the wash. And this is the same model. Just this one has a wash, this one doesn't. So wash really. I'm gonna get this because it'll help me wash them. Especially when you paint white, black washes are really good. So I find they help hide your mistakes better. I gotta check that out here in a minute. I know you guys can't hear the little bings, but when I stream, sometimes people are asking questions directly. So it just takes a minute while I'm doing this. It's like after this, I might go drop off these Crisis Protocol commissions that I have. You guys will notice while I'm doing this wash, there are certain areas where I let the wash go in thicker. And that's mainly in those areas, especially with this chainmail or where the armor really has these gaps. Just put it on a little thicker that way. Kind of sets in there. Alright, looking pretty good. Just need to finish up this helmet. Okay. Alright, now we got Banna. I'm glad I saw that I'm actually light on my washes. The banner I might leave that way and just build it up more with the yellow. So I'm saying there's just like a ton of detail with these models. Because there's some models you can paint up and it's just a quick wash and you're like, all right, that's good, move on to the next one. These guys are not. There's a lot of ins and outs. So you want to think about that when you're painting a model up and it's a unit like this where you're just like, all right, this is gonna, because I'm telling you, I thought this unit was not going to take me that long, but once I started getting into it and the different layers and the different metals, that's when I started getting like, oh god, this unit. This might be the most difficult, not difficult, difficult's the wrong word. Just because since I got my Froglodytes, Dennis. Don't you worry about them. Dennis was asking me about the Froglodytes. You need to get your own. The Froglodytes will get painted as soon as these guys are washed. Okay, we're going to call him good. Was going to call him good, but he needs a little more up and around there. There we go. Post wash, this unit's going to look pretty slick. Thanks for hopping on, Dennis, hanging out. Glad you're on with the show here. Yeah, this is on the Rage Quit Wire YouTube stream as well. So always want to direct people that way because we are trying to build that up. I'm actually going to make some thumbnails today for the videos for the Rage Quit Wire. I haven't done that in a little bit. Falling behind on that. So I'll do that while I'm doing other things as well. Yeah, black wash helps just cover up mistakes, which is why I use it a lot. Because I use it to hide the mistakes and overlaps of the base colors. And then the highlights and stuff, I'll go back in and clean it up more with layering. Okay, I think we're looking good there. Okay, front rank done. Hooray. Yeah. It's been a lot of work setting up the colors for these mountains, man. But man, they're going to look nice on the table. Just this heavily armored, just going to mess you up unit. Alright. Key's okay. Kind of fill it in a little bit there. Like I said, just one of those things where you start to really get into these models. And you're just like, God, man, God bless. Because I was trying to do this last night where we were doing the paint party. I was like, oh, I'll wash these. And I just started looking at them like, nope, 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 nope. Not gonna do this tonight. Get the back. Yeah, just tons of chainmail. Tons of metal. They had a 4+ save, but like if they had a shield, man, these guys would be like a 2+ save on foot. That'd be crazy. Crazy. I think I got 4, 5, 6 guys left in the unit to put a wash on. Hell, some of these guys in the front rank will be dried by the time we finish up all these models. See, and this is one thing about the contrast paints you got to pay. I'll show you guys here in a second. That you really got to pay attention to, because this is what I was fixing on those Pyro Lannister dudes. Is when you do just the contrast paints, you can see that if it pools too much, you start to get this other kind of black stuff on where you put too much of it. So it's just like the washes. You just got to be careful how much you put on a model. So that's something I'm going to have to go back and kind of fix. Which is okay. It's a little extra time I'm going to have to spend on it. So much chainmail. Yeah, this video might be just a little over 30 minutes. I'm not trying to be on here for a ton of time on Mother's Day. Great, only got 4 more dudes. We can do it. It's one of those units that take more time than you thought initially, because usually when I see a plated armor unit like this, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a quick unit, knock it out. So this unit has definitely surprised me. Also, I do just want to paint these troglodytes. I was listening to the fluff, the background of the God tier story, their universe, if you will, and they were talking about the guy that is the champion, and the troglodytes are his followers. So his name's Half Tusk. He's a troll, and the reason why they follow him is because they're kind of stonekin. They're kind of not stonekin, the right word, might be it. Basically, they're akin to the trolls. So he goes and he wants to protect these troglodytes on his native kind of island from all these orcs, and mainly just the orcs, because the orcs are the one that are raiding like his island. So they're kind of like dying to all these orcs that keep invading, and he ends up getting these god tier powers to help protect them. I'm like, oh, he's like Willy Wonka, you know, and protecting the Oompa Loompas. It's like, this is kind of sweet. Or protecting them from the heffalumps and woozles. Come in every shape and size. Oh, we got 2 guys after this. Sweet. See it. You can see the finish line. You do want to make sure you don't miss too much, though, because sometimes when you see the end of the unit like this, you start to kind of just put models down and go to the next one. So you just want to kind of slowly go through it and just make sure that you hit all the points you want to hit on it. Two guys. I actually had this weird thing happen last night when we were streaming where all of a sudden it just kicked us off and it was trying to reconnect and it wouldn't. And I was like, oh, this is kind of weird because it still wants to stream even though there's nothing streaming to it. Okay, I think we're good there. And then our last guy, and then we'll take a look at the unit and then we'll add some layers to these troglodytes. Got a bunch of flack on that model. Alright, let's go to the mall today. So let me get this clear. You want us to go to the mall today. Alright, we are almost done. We just need to kind of touch this up. Okay, got that sword done a little bit more. Alright, let's see how we look. Alright, I think we got our wash done. So let's kind of look at what the unit is going to be like. So this is, while it's still kind of drying in the wash, just kind of turn some guys around here so that way we don't look weird. Face the front. Alright. So you can see the wash kind of setting in, and it's already starting to get this kind of rich detail to it, and we'll go back over some of it, and definitely the yellows and the reds we'll go over again as well. But you can see the unit is starting to look pretty slick. So I'm going to paint for about another 5 or 6 minutes here, and I just want to paint these troglodytes up, or should I say troglodytes. So they got some definitely cool blue kind of characteristics to them. Where's my Fang blue? The Fang, which is over here. Just because I want to get a little more paint time in for you guys. That way, if you want to just see some skills. And all I'm going to do is layer these troglodyte skins. I washed them and I put the second layer on there. But I'm definitely going to go ahead and start to highlight and eventually dry brush these guys as well. These models are so goofy looking. Love it. I'm gonna love making people mad with these guys. This little poor Oompa Loompa-like little dudes. I saw a couple people that they painted the Frogletites a little different than their half tusk. I'm actually going to paint them the same just so it's like you know whose followers these are. They belong to half tusk. But I do love the idea of these guys being the Oompa Loompas of God tier, where the orcs are trying to like eat them. Alright. Alright, I think we're good with him. Next Frogletite. I do like it in the game too, so not just their background, because these are, I think so far, the only followers who can go in the objective hexes. And that doesn't seem like a big deal, but the reason that's a big deal is because that's some more bodies. So if I go first in a turn, those are more bodies I can put into the hexes. Because normally they can't go in the hexes, followers can't. For those of you that don't play this game. Okay. But since they can, that's more bodies that you can use to kind of clutter it up, because you need to score points inside the objective hexes. And if there's an enemy in there, you can't put your stuff in there, can't put your banner in there. Maybe you can't move around. So I found them really, really useful when I've played with them. Definitely my favorite Guardian. Okay. And this is a blue on this guy. Alright. These Frogletites are really mobile too. They can do leaps, they can protect themselves a little bit. Just a really solid unit. There's only 3 of them, so I think people are starting to understand why I'm like, yeah, I totally like God tier. Look at it, I only have to paint 4 models up. It's cool. Alright, I'm going to put one more layer of blue on them, and then I'll show the whatchamacallit, the mountains men one more time, and then we'll sign off. Just want to get a little video out, a little Mother's Day gift for everybody. Maybe you want a little break throughout your day, helping your mom out. Okay, so this one's kind of not going to be a layer that we're going to do. This one's more of a highlight. This Calgar blue. Because we already did our layering, now we just want to go back through and hit the high points. And then we'll even, this ice blue will be the last highlight we do as well. And highlighting, for those of you that are kind of like struggling to figure out how much I put on certain parts of the model, it's like when you highlight stuff, you really just want to hit that really, really high point. You don't want to just do it over the same part of the blue you already did, because then you're just ignoring all that paint you did with the darker blues that I just put on here. So like here, I'm just hitting kind of corners, top parts of the lip, nose, eyebrows. Top parts of the hand, muscles. Like I said, just get your eye points. Get his little butt. Get this little web again. Okay, I think we kind of got it. We'll do a little dry brush highlight on the stomach. Cool little models. Top of her head a little bit too. Cool. Then we got one more troglodyte that we're gonna do this light blue on, and then we'll call it a paint session. You just gotta kind of find these moments in the day, just kind of paint. Just be like, hey, I'm gonna go upstairs and paint. If you gotta talk to somebody to give, I don't know, an excuse. But sometimes I literally just go upstairs and I just say I'm gonna paint, and I might only be up here for 15-20 minutes. And then when I get called down to do something, then it's like, all right, let's go do something. Okay, I think we're done with the skin tone. A little bit underneath. And call it good. Alright, see what our little froglets look like. Look like so far. Alright, so the frogletites look good. Got one more layer of, I'm going to do this ice blue over top of this with some extreme highlights and maybe some blends in too. Got to paint their like teeth and eyes as well, but we'll get there. Okay, and the thing that you saw painted, at least washed, and they're starting to get washed and setting in, and some of them are even dry. So maybe I'll get back on stream later, finishing these guys up, give you guys a 2-for-1 since I slacked the last couple days, which I apologize for. But it's just one of those things where I actually went to go get like a basketball hoop from Columbia and built that the last couple days and been playing with my son. So, you know, that's what I've been doing instead of streaming. But getting back into it, I think I'll probably stream again tonight. Just that way, it'll be a later stream though. That way you guys can see the finishing up of this unit. Because we got to hit that yellow a little bit more, make it pop. And then we got to hit the red and clean up some of the tans that we have as well. So make sure that you guys like, subscribe to the Rage Quit Wire YouTube channel if you haven't already. And I'm gonna try to get some more gameplay. Like Mike Klein wants to do some Song of Ice and Fire on the computer, so maybe I'll stream with him and I'll definitely put that up. So make sure that you guys support your local game stores, especially the Final Round. Help them keep open during this time where we can't go in and spend all our money. So just support